Katy Perry's return to the spotlight was supposed to be iconic, a grand comeback, a revival of pop magic. But instead, it's turning into one of the most shocking collapses in recent pop culture memory, from the moment she stepped on stage. For her Lifetime's tour, fans weren't just confused, they were stunned. What was supposed to be a celebration of her career has become a viral punchline across TikTok, Twitter, and Reddit threads. The performances? Off. The visuals? Questionable. And Katy herself? A shadow of the star she once was. As reviews and reactions pour in, the same question keeps coming up. What happened to Katy Perry? Is this the result of industry pressure, a disconnect from reality, or has Katy simply lost her spark? Welcome back to Celebrew, where we dive deep into the drama, the downfall, and everything in between. And today, we're breaking down the unraveling of Katy Perry's Lifetime's tour, one bizarre, cringeworthy moment at a time. If you've seen clips from the tour, you're probably thinking what most of the internet is. Is this supposed to be high budget or low budget? Because it's hard to tell. There's a jarring contrast in every frame. 1 minute, you're staring at what looks like a multi-million-dollar LED screen. The next, Katy's doing choreography that resembles a malfunctioning robot with 2 left feet. The lighting doesn't help, neither does the pacing. And the real kicker, no one seems to know if this is part of a larger concept or if it's all just stitched together last minute. Fans described it as first rehearsal energy, and honestly, that's generous. But what's more shocking than the lack of polish is the lack of clarity. Katy's once known for color-saturated, whimsical performances. Remember the candy-colored fantasy of California Girls or the Super Bowl-level theatrics she brought to the halftime stage? This isn't that. This is something else. Something strange, stiff, and deeply awkward. The confusion doesn't stop with the visuals. It bleeds into every aspect of the tour, from song transitions to dance sequences to fan interaction. It's not just disappointing, it's baffling. And here's where things take a futuristic, and not in a good way, turn. The Lifetime's tour leans heavily on AI-generated visuals. We're talking bizarre digital backdrops that look eerily off. Faces of unknown figures flash on massive screens, sparking debates over whether real people's likenesses were used without permission. The crowd reaction? Pure discomfort. AI, when used thoughtfully, can enhance a performance. But here, it feels like a shortcut, a lazy replacement for real artistic effort. Instead of hiring visual artists or staging grand productions, it's like someone typed a few prompts into a generator and hit play. Worse, the AI seems to be a distraction tactic. Instead of enhancing the show, it overwhelms it. The crowd's not sure where to look. At Katy, who's barely dancing, or at the chaotic images flickering above her head. One fan put it bluntly, "It feels like they're trying to make us forget we're at a concert." And it shows in the reception. What was supposed to be a high-concept tour has become a cautionary tale in overusing tech without taste. You can't replicate human artistry with code. And in this case, AI didn't elevate Katy's performance. It exposed how shallow it truly was. Let's talk about the dancing, or lack of it. Katy Perry has never been known as a top-tier dancer, but she's always managed to hold her own, delivering fun, high-energy performances that relied on charisma rather than complex steps. But on this tour, even that has disappeared. Footage from multiple shows shows Katy stumbling through routines that fans are calling bare minimum. She appears winded, out of sync, and, most noticeably, disinterested. There's no passion, no spark. Just autopilot movement across the stage. In one moment that went viral, she attempts a basic jump onto a dancer's back and completely botches the landing. In another, she swings from the ceiling in a bizarre aerial stunt that looks rehearsed. For maybe 5 minutes before opening night, social media users have been ruthless. Comparisons to gym class warm-ups and awkward school plays have flooded TikTok. One viewer asked if her choreographers were third graders who won a contest. Others pointed out the irony that Katy, who recently lost weight and went on a space flight for PR, now looks too exhausted to perform live. Fitness doesn't equal stamina, and the tour's physical demands seem far beyond what she prepared for. Add in the lip syncing, which is near constant, and the show becomes more of a stage walkthrough than a pop performance. It's like watching someone rehearse, but for 90 minutes in front of 10,000 paying fans. The internet has been ablaze with reactions to the Lifetime's tour, and the consensus isn't flattering. Social media platforms are flooded with clips showcasing awkward choreography and perplexing visuals, leading many to question the show's Artistic direction. One viral TikTok video captured Katy Perry performing robotic dance moves during Part of Me, prompting comments likening the performance to a school talent show. Critics have also pointed out the irony in her performance of Woman's World, a song promoting female empowerment, which featured only male backup dancers. The backlash has been so intense that Katy Perry addressed it during a performance, questioning whether anyone had ever called their dreams crazy, reinforcing her enthusiasm for the space-themed elements in the show. The Lifetime's tour setlist is a mix of new tracks from her 2024 album 143 and classic hits like Firework and Roar. The concert features a futuristic aesthetic, with Perry donning a metallic bodysuit and performing aerial stunts. However, the show's plot, centering on Perry portraying a half-human, half-machine character battling an AI enemy, has been criticized for being confusing and difficult to follow. Despite the dazzling visuals, many fans found the performance lacking, with some describing it as awkward and uninspired. Ticket sales for the Lifetime's tour have been underwhelming in several U.S. cities. Reports indicate that 70% of seats remained unsold for a Minneapolis show and 60% for a Raleigh date. Despite the slow sales, Katy Perry's team denies any plans to cancel shows and points to additional dates in Australia due to high demand. The disappointing ticket sales are attributed to backlash from fans over her collaboration with controversial producer Dr. Luke and negative reviews of her latest album 143's. Amid the criticism, Katy Perry has responded emotionally to the widespread online backlash. She described herself as a human piñata, subjected to negativity on the internet, which she called a dumping ground for unhinged and unhealed individuals. Despite the backlash, she reassured fans of her well-being, crediting personal work and therapy with helping her maintain perspective and resilience. Perry emphasized her commitment to authenticity and personal growth, acknowledging her imperfections and ongoing journey. The Lifetime's tour has drawn comparisons to other pop stars' performances, particularly Taylor Swift's Eras Tour. Critics have noted that while Swift's tour is a masterclass in concert experiences, Perry's tour feels underwhelming in comparison. Some fans have also pointed out that Perry's brand of camp seems forced and not authentic, unlike artists like Lady Gaga, who have successfully embraced over-the-top performances. Despite the controversies, the Lifetime's tour is set to continue with scheduled stops across the US, Australia, Canada, South America, and Europe. However, the tour's future success may depend on how Perry and her team address the criticisms and adjust the show's elements to better resonate with audiences. Katy Perry's Lifetime's tour was envisioned as a grand comeback, a celebration of her career, and a showcase of her evolution as an artist. However, the execution has left fans and critics divided, with many questioning the tour's artistic direction and overall quality. As the tour progresses, it remains to be seen whether Perry can turn the tide and reclaim her status as a pop icon. One thing is certain: the Lifetime's tour has sparked conversations about authenticity, artistic vision, and the challenges of staging a successful comeback in today's music industry. Stay tuned to Celebrew for more updates on the Lifetime's tour and other developments in the world of pop culture.